Welcome to A Moment of Zen. Time to sit back and relax as model, actress, mentor, and supermom Zen Sams takes you on a sexy and wild ride, covering the latest in film, fashion, pop culture, cryptocurrency, fintech, cannabis, and entertainment from the millennial mom's perspective. Here's your host, Zen Sams.
Hello, my beautiful tri-state area. Welcome to our 156th episode. It's always such a pleasure to spend my time with you on the airwaves. Thank you for listening and interacting with me on social media. That truly does make it all worthwhile. Please make sure to follow me at Zen Sams. That's Zen with an X, not a Z. Also remember that all episodes of A Moment of Zen stream 24/7 on your home TV and Kathy Ireland worldwide. You can always find us on our YouTube channel at Zen Sams. In our Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, today we're featuring Max Siegelman. He's founder of Siegelman Stable. Siegelman Stable has been adopted in various celebrity wardrobes, draping the likes and VIPs of influencers and artists like Kendall Jenner, Dwayne Wade, and the future. Today we're at iHeart headquarters in studio chatting all about the inspiration behind Siegelman Stable, leveraging social media for brand awareness and maintaining a successful fashion brand. In our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift, we're featuring Dr. Tess Mauricio, America's favorite dermatologist. She's a multi-awarded founder of M Beauty Clinic in San Diego and in Beverly Hills. She's also the author of California Total Beauty. She's a sought-after expert, an educator, and a celebrity dermatologist to Paula Abdul, Julian Lennon, Black Eyed Peas, as well as Kim and Khloe Kardashian. We're going to be chatting, you guessed it, carboxytherapy for skin rejuvenation, the popularity of combo therapies in skincare plans, how to achieve the facelift look non-invasively, and why pre-treating your skin prior to a procedure makes all the difference. In the Metropolitan Lifestyle segment brought to you by Your Home TV and our friends over at Kathy Ireland Worldwide, today we're featuring the incredible Marcus Klinko, a global gallery artist and fashion photographer. He joins me today to chat all about his career, the progression of photography in the digital era, the power of an incredible image, and how the advertising model has evolved with social media. In the Discover Your Potential Express segment brought to you by The Wellness Way, regular contributor and podcaster Anna Devere is going to be chatting about the importance of taking a mental break in honor of National Virtual Vacation Day. Stay tuned for the Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. We're chatting fashion, horses, branding, and the power of social media with founder and creator Max Siegelman of Siegelman Stable. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, 100% pure coconut water. Imagine a drink that's nutrient-rich, powerfully refreshing, naturally sweet with no added sugars, not from concentrate, zero additives, low in calories, absolutely no artificial flavors, and is so tasty that it will become your new favorite beverage. Enter Once Upon a Coconut, the absolute best-tasting coconut water you will ever try. Available in 4 refreshing flavors: pure, chocolate, pineapple, and sparkling with energy. Do your taste buds a favor and pick up some today at onceuponacoconut.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in our Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, we're featuring Max Siegelman. He's founder of Siegelman Stable. Now, Siegelman Stable has been adopted in various celebrity wardrobes, draping the likes of VIPs, influencers, and artists such as Kendall Jenner, Dwayne Wade, and Future. Today, we are here at iHeart headquarters in studio chatting all about the inspiration behind Siegelman Stable, leveraging social media for brand awareness and maintaining a successful fashion brand. Now, according to market research, the equestrian fashion market is valued at billions globally, and brands like Polo Ralph Lauren and Siegelman Stable contribute significantly to this billion-dollar market through their equestrian-inspired collections. Now, horses have been long associated with elegance, prestige, and a refined lifestyle. Equestrian fashion draws inspiration from the world of horseback riding, which has historically been linked to aristocracy and upper-class leisurely pursuits, if you know what I will. Now, how this association with the elite comes full circle, we're going to chat with Max directly. But The association with the elite can contribute to the allure and exclusivity of equestrian-inspired fashion lines. That's without a doubt. And studies show that equestrian sports such as polo and horse racing have a really strong following among affluent demographics. Now, this demographic, in fact, overlapped with consumers of equestrian-inspired fashion, really further enhances the perception of luxury and that status associated with these brands. It really goes hand in glove. Here to chat fashion, horses, and achieving brand recognition is the amazing Max Siegelman. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you for having me. Pumped to be here.
So excited to have you. So I say that the drive and motivation behind equestrian-inspired fashion lines really stems from a desire to capture the sophistication, if you will, and the prestige associated with equestrian culture. And brands, like I mentioned earlier, like Ralph Lauren, have tapped into this aspirational lifestyle, offering consumers this taste of refined world of horseback riding right through their clothing and accessories. So your journey from utilizing hand-drawn logos from your father's horse race stable to establishing Siegelman Stable is quite remarkable. I find it, in fact, fascinating. How did this transition occur, and what inspired you to venture into this particular industry?
Yeah, I always say it kind of happened by accident, jokingly, but it kind of did. So I think we were all forced in the pandemic, either in the beginning or at some point during it, to come up with something creative to make up some time of just sitting at home and not being able to do as much as we were. So I was not traveling as much with clients, and for work, I was doing consulting and marketing and social for different celebrities and music artists and athletes. And I decided for fun just to start making some hats and sweatshirts with the two existing logos that he had that my mom hand drew for him when he started his own racing stable in the 80s. No intention to sell anything. Took $300-400, started making 3 different color hats, 3 different color sweatshirts, gave them to family and friends, and enough people saw them either through Instagram or figured out a different way to contact me, asking where they could buy it, and decided that I would launch a website that they could buy those 6 different SKUs. Wasn't making a lot at first at all. Again, I think I reinvested another $300-400 to do so. Launched a website, but always said that I would stay true to my dad's story as a racehorse trainer, but the additional layer of opening up his stable to different equine therapy programs, mostly in the Newark, New Jersey area for inner city kids or veterans of PTSD, and using his stable for a bigger purpose than just training racehorses.
I love that you said a bigger purpose, and that's why this Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. We always look for the bigger purpose, and I know that our dear friend Blaze mentioned that you are very socially active, and you always look for the underlying sentiment before you just get involved with anything that has to do with the bigger picture, and especially giving back, because you have to, of course, balance the karma, right? So your brand has seen remarkable growth in recent years. Could you highlight some key strategies or maybe even partnerships that fueled this growth?
Definitely. I think we took the approach at first, not knowing that we were going to sell stuff, and then starting to see a little bit of an organic ramp up being very, very small in the beginning. I started to use some of the relationships and networking from past jobs and experiences, and started seeding out some product to some athletes and music artists that I had previous relationships with. Some I had none at all. Some I found random addresses and prayed for the best, and it got to them, and was lucky enough that they wore it and were seen wearing it or posted on social media wearing it, and that has been a great strategy for us. And in terms of partnerships and collaborations, I just believe that collaboration is something that can make or break a brand and how long you're around for. So we've been fortunate enough to have brand partnerships and have collaborations with some of the biggest sport teams in the world. Some other huge brands and individuals, and we really use that co-marketing opportunity to tell our story alongside of theirs.
Well, it sounds like you have your work cut out for you, not just in the fashion industry, but also as an entrepreneur and as a marketing expert at this point, because it seems like you have your tentacles everywhere, and that's exactly how it should be as the founder of a brand. Now, cultural and societal references to horses in fashion really extend beyond mere aesthetics. You know this better than anyone else. And horses symbolize power and grace and freedom, qualities that resonate with consumers seeking to embody a certain lifestyle or persona through their fashion choices, right? So coming full circle, celebrity endorsements, those have a significant impact for brand visibility. So So how did you go about securing endorsements from high-profile figures like Kendall Jenner and Dwayne Wade in the future? I mean, what's the secret to creating a strong, authentic brand?
I wish there was one secret. It's not that easy. All three of those that you just named, we got to or I spoke to in crazy different ways. I think when we first started, I didn't necessarily know that that was a great route for us to go. I think you reference all these brands that have been around forever, like Gucci or Hermes, and they all have some recognition to a horse, or even Burberry. And so I think there's definitely a huge underlining piece of that in the upper class. But I think even more important for us, I didn't want to be a brand that was just for one demographic. And when I set out, I said that I wanted to make pieces that a kid who idolizes a rapper from Atlanta would want. And I would also want someone who follows Kendall Jenner, who's open about owning horses and riding horses, to want that same piece. So I think in my mind, I had a aspirational list and I had a relatable list, and relatable being that maybe kid who never grew up in a city and has never seen a horse in person, or rode a horse or pet a horse or ever thought about seeing one. And then that relatable list of maybe someone who grew up in a big city or grew up in the country just outside a city and was fortunate enough to take horseback riding lessons or go to the races with their grandparents or parents. So I think the way we tell our story is a way that I think a lot of people can relate, no matter what your demographic is, what class you're in, what interest you have. I think we speak to a larger audience.
I couldn't agree more. Exactly. Apple is a tech company that wants to appeal to creators, and to do that, it brands itself with creative ads and inspirational marketing campaigns, such as its Think Different campaign. And the net result is that when people think of Apple, they don't just think of a technology company. They think of a company that will help them bring their creative vision to life. And individuals make purchasing decisions and seek out services based on how they feel. And experts say emotions are key. So construct and modify your brand based on this. I always tell people, and I say your brand should have a distinct and a trustworthy, no longer second-class personality. So it has to really kind of resonate into the public. Now, particularly, your brand has been featured in renowned publications like Complex and GQ and Hypebeast. How did these features come about, and what impact did they have on your brand's growth?
Yeah, I think anytime we get the opportunity to be a part of an amazing publication or outlet, one, it's obviously rewarding and kind of continue, or pushes you to continue in what you're building. But I think the only reason you end up there is sticking true to your story and telling your story in different ways, through different projects, through different collaborations, through our own projects, through brand partnerships, and being able to tell our story as an individual brand, or also alongside others. Is super important, especially as a small brand. And I think I said it before, like, we've spent $0 in marketing to this point, other than seeding some influencers or celebrities or whoever it is here and there. But we've just been super fortunate that we've stuck to our story, have told our story in different ways, and have continued just to elevate our actual clothing and our hats, and now getting into more ready to wear and some higher end pieces. And just sticking true to what we believe in, and will attract the right audience and customers, and do the right thing to our community, and stay communicative to them, and be open with them. If production's not on time and something's going to be late, and we're open with them that's going to happen. We just want to make sure that we're doing the best that we can possibly do and control.
My dear Max, your parents must be so proud.
They're definitely proud, and they're happy to travel with us now too, now that they're gonna both retired a bit. So they're definitely having fun with it. Though they might have been one of the bigger skeptics in the beginning of this, like,
oh, it's always
who's gonna wear that hat? But I think it played out well for now.
I think so too. Now, the fashion industry is known for its fast-paced nature and really ever-changing trends. I mean, one day something's in, the next it's out. How do you stay ahead of the curve and ensure that Siegelman Stable remains relevant in such a dynamic landscape?
Yeah, no, good question. I mean, I think so. Our creative director, also my fiance, has a vision for our brand and our clothing and our pieces, like no one else, and makes them come to life exactly how she imagines them. So I think one, I think staying on trend is one thing, but I also think trying to create something that you know is going to be a part of something for a long time is a lot more important. I think if we just wanted to stay on trend, I wouldn't have stuck my foot into the mud and was like, I'm going to make this a company that lasts for a super, super long time, and and dig deep into the heritage of my dad's story. I'm just going to sell as many hats as I can right now, take the money and run. And I chose the hard route. So I think for us to say we're just trying to stick in the trend and stay around and follow what's next is probably not something that we're going to do. I think something that we're looking forward to is putting out, like I said, like some of our higher end pieces that we're investing a lot of time and production in right now, that it's going to be new and different for us. And that's exciting. So I think as long as we, again, stick to our vision and what we know is going to work and what we think is right, I think we'll hit the right audience.
Well, you're in the right space. The Global Equestrian Apparel Market Report has witnessed steady growth, and steady growth when a report comes out is a good sign. And in recent years, they anticipated to maintain a really positive progression until 2030. Specifically, we're talking about the equestrian apparel market. And one notable trend within the equestrian apparel market is the growing preference for sustainable and eco-friendly products. Now, sustainability is becoming increasingly important in the fashion industry. How does Siegelman Stable integrate sustainability into its business practices?
In a big, big way. We, like I said, my fiance is creative director. She's also from Norway, where their education on sustainability is through the roof compared to someone who grew up in New York in the U.S. and our education on it. So it's at the forefront of almost everything that we do. Just the lids of every hat that we make is 100% recycled material. We use all organic cotton. We use all upcycled or recycled cotton and materials. We make everything in the U.S., so transportation is less and shipping is less. So it is definitely at the forefront of everything that we're thinking of. And we know as a young, smaller brand, it's a lot easier to implement this now versus look back in 5-10 years and try and make up for it and figure out how to get to that point.
Bravo. Now, your brand offers a range of merchandise, like you've repeated hats and sweatshirts and accessories. Could you share some insights into your product development process? Well, now we know you have a better half that is involved in that. But how do you ensure quality and style consistency across your offerings, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're at definitely a point in our business where we know what people want and we also know what we want. So we are happy to continue to re-up on what people want, whether it's a certain colorway or a certain item. But we also know what we want and where we see the vision of the brand going. And that's on the production and the investment side of our ready-to-wear and some of our tracksuits that are coming along, outerwear jackets, knits, again, some higher-end pieces. So I think we're really looking through the lens of a long-term brand and where we're going to sit in the landscape of fashion. But we also know where we started and where a lot of brands start. I think if you look back at how Off-White was created and what Virgil did and how he started Pyrex and getting blanks and just printing the name on it is not so different to how we started. We bought blank hats, or I bought blank hats and blank sweatshirts and screen printed and embroidered our logo and our name on it. And that's how we got out there. And now we're in the next phase of our business, or we have been, where we're doing cut and sew. We're focusing on what materials we're using, how it's made, the sustainability, and where we see we'll be in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 5 years from now.
Beautiful. I love the way that all came together. You started small, slowly but surely. You walked before you ran, and now you are in it for the long haul with a beautiful roadmap. So
we're
now
just warming up.
You're just warming up. So let's chat brand power, which is essentially the ultimate sway your business will have in its chosen market. Now, this involves thinking about how your business can create a product or service worth having and the power your business has to make that product worth much more than competitors in a crowded market. What is your advice here?
To get through a crowded market, I think one is storytelling. Stick to your story and tell it. I think it's for us, it's having a heritage story to tell. I think we're in a space where any creator, anyone with a following can create their own brand, and their following will most likely buy what they have to sell. And I think a way to break through that is having a true brand story, having a heritage story that luckily I have and am able to tell. And I think as long as you stick to it, you tell it the right way, you produce things the right way, and you make high quality products, you'll continue to break through.
Exactly. And you just said it, from the whether it's the financial services sector to restaurants and fashion brands, appeasing your customer is key, and having a strong story is critical. And what we know is that the power of social media and a strong online presence with a good story is incredibly crucial to building brand trust and loyalty. Just the story you told us about your father and keeping his legacy alive. And now your parents are about to retire. And here you are paving the way, going where there is no path and leaving this great big trail. But consumers need and crave connectivity. And connectivity breeds community. And community breeds loyalty. And guess what? A loyal customer feeds the bank account. It's all intertwined. The top sellers rely on social media in an all-out effort to grow a business. Why? Just like you likely buy online, over 25% of young Americans, that's up to age 35, buy directly from social media channels and make their decisions based on those social trends. So this is the new normal. So for leaders and entertainers in business, the need to connect with peers and customers digitally has never been more imperative. And I think you have done that and your brand has done that. And you stay at the forefront by leveraging influencers organically and naturally. And I think you've created this incredible company and that's just getting started. So I take my hat off to you and I commend you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The world is your oyster. We are at the end, my dear friend. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's been amazing.
That was our Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut. That was the incredible Max Siegelman, founder of Siegelman Stable. You could head directly to siegelmanstable.com or check them out on the gram at Max_Siegelman or at Siegelman Stable. Head to onceuponacoconut.com for all the incredible flavors. You definitely have to drink the legend. Head directly to the Instagram handle at Once Upon a Coconut. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, 100% pure coconut water. Imagine a drink that's nutrient-rich, powerfully refreshing, naturally sweet with no added sugars, not from concentrate, zero additives, low in calories, absolutely no artificial flavors, and is so tasty that it will become your new favorite beverage. Enter Once Upon a Coconut, the absolute best tasting coconut water you will ever try. Available in 4 refreshing flavors: pure, chocolate, pineapple, and sparkling with energy. Do your taste buds a favor and pick up some today at onceuponacoconut.com.
All right, so the Hydration with Heart segment, Max, is brought to us by Once Upon a Coconut. Our good friends have brought cans over here today for us. We have the pineapple, and I believe you have the chocolate flavor.
I already chugged the chocolate one, so I got another pineapple.
You already chugged the chocolate one.
In our little 15-minute combo, this chocolate is gone.
Okay. What did you think of it?
It tastes amazing. It tastes like childhood in a can.
Chocolate Yoo-hoo, right?
Yeah, it's better, I think.
It tastes
Healthier
like chocolate
for you.
Much healthier, full of electrolyte replacement, magnesium, potassium. Those are all the vitals that we need. Amazing for your kidneys, amazing for your liver, your lungs, your hydration, your skin. I could go on and on. When I give my daughter the chocolate one, she thinks she's drinking something very naughty. So I'll just say to you right now that the pineapple flavor that I am tasting tastes like it's just short of some vodka. That's how good it is. It's actually really hydrating. I was having a conversation not long ago with one of our first show reps. His name is Darren Yellen. He's over at Salem. And he said, shoveling the snow on my driveway, and I was getting all jittery and shaky. And he said, I rushed inside, and I typically don't like the way coconut water tastes, but I chugged it anyway just so I could, get the hydration and the replenishment because I knew I needed some electrolyte replacement. He's like, and I actually acquired a taste for it, and now I love it. He goes, and I go and I reach for it, and it's like my go-to pre-workout, post-workout. I just drink it whenever I'm feeling a little bit dizzy or lightheaded, and it just regulates blood sugar. So listen, I'm a huge fan.
I'm a fan. I think I might drink this whole one again.
What else do you use coconut water for?
I drink it to rehydrate after a long run. So I run the New York City Marathon every year. This will be year 6, I think, coming up.
Well, there's a fun fact we didn't know about Max Siegelman.
Back at it. Back at training already. Just training for life, really. But anytime I do a long run after, I definitely like to hydrate with some coconut water.
Right. Well, there you have it. Once Upon a Coconut. And 10% of all profits on a monthly basis go back to a charity of choice that Once Upon a Coconut works with. So it's the Down Syndrome Foundation of Florida, but there's so many incredible foundations they work with and giving back to the community. They're very socially active. Only great things to say about our dear friends over at Once Upon a Coconut. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
Do you have the dream of starting and owning your own business or know of someone who does? If so, check out Your Home Business program, where they inspire, equip, and encourage those who dream of owning and operating their own business. Check out Your Home Business on yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by CO2 Lift. As we age, our skin loses moisture and elasticity, causing wrinkled skin. You can reverse this aging process with CO2 Lift. CO2 Lift utilizes the powerful benefits of carbon dioxide to lift, tighten, and regenerate your skin. This simple, painless at-home carboxytherapy treatment is scientifically proven to reverse the aging process. You will see reduction in wrinkles, increase in luminosity, and improve pigmentation, sagging, skin tone, and radiance. For more information or to order CO2 Lift, go to co2lift.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up in just a few minutes in our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift. Today, we're featuring Dr. Tess Mauricio, America's favorite dermatologist. She is a multi-awarded founder of M Beauty Clinic in San Diego and in Beverly Hills. She's the author of California Total Beauty. She is a sought-after expert, educator, and celebrity dermatologist to Paula Abdul, Julian Lennon, Black Eyed Peas, as well as Kim and Khloe Kardashian. She's a favorite medical expert on various TV networks and stars in All in Family with Dr. Tess on GMA Pinoy TV. Today, she's here to chat carboxytherapy for skin rejuvenation, the popularity of combo therapies in skin plans, how to achieve the facelift look non-invasively, and why pre-treating your skin prior to a procedure makes all the difference. Welcoming now to the show is my expert at hand on our Expert on the Microphone series, Dr. Tess Mauricio. Welcome to the show, Stunner.
Hello there. Hi, everyone. Hi, Zen.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited to chat with you, and you are the perfect person to talk to about this. So you're renowned as America's favorite dermatologist and have an immersive and impressive list of celebrity clients. Could you share with us what initially drew you to the field of dermatology and skin rejuvenation?
Well, Zen, growing up, I had a lot of skin issues. I grew up with very severe eczema that, especially with my skin of color, it would leave scars and I'd have to cover it. And then when that got better, I started getting really bad acne in my teenage years. And so I really felt like, there was this psychological impact that skin diseases have. And then when I was a medical student at Stanford, I actually thought I was going to be a psychiatrist because I really wanted to impact my patients' psychological and mental well-being. And then I did a rotation in derm, and then I saw the power that, improving someone's skin can give the patients as far as improving their self-confidence or self-esteem. You can turn a kid who has really bad acne, who is not talking to you, who's not looking at you, covering their face with their hair, not going out, not going to dances, and you improve their skin, and now they're outgoing, they're dating. And so I'm like, wow, this is what I want to do. This is the kind of impact and difference that I want to make in my patient's life. And then that was way before all of these incredible skin rejuvenation technologies have come into play. And so I really love what I do, but it's really about helping my patients look and feel their very best at any age.
Well, essentially, you did become that psychologist that everybody depends on. You're just treating them from within the derm layer, and it trickles out and radiates, which is great. Now, carboxytherapy is gaining attention in the realm of skincare. Could you explain to our audience what exactly carboxytherapy is and how it works to rejuvenate the skin?
Well, carboxytherapy, it was first discovered and introduced by a physicist, Danish physicist Christian Bohr, in the early 20th century. And essentially what he showed is that when you increase carbon dioxide in the tissues, you increase blood circulation and then increase oxygen. And so in the past, traditionally, carboxytherapy is essentially introducing medical grade carbon dioxide into tissues, and then that then increases oxygen in the tissues. It's like, I tell my patients, it's like putting your skin in an oxygen chamber. And when you increase oxygen in the tissues, you increase blood flow. Really, you're making the skin more healthy. You're removing toxins. And so in our practice now, we don't use the traditional carboxytherapy where you have to use needles and inject carbon dioxide in the skin. We now have incredible topical carboxytherapy through CO2 lift. And we use it for everything. We use it to prep the skin before we do skin treatments like RF microneedling, laser treatments, even fillers injection. And we also use it after to decrease inflammation and just make the skin as healthy as possible.
Yeah, I've been using CO2 lift products on my face for 6 months. And wow, this carboxytherapy gel, it, the science speaks for itself, increasing the presence of wound repair factors and growth factors, which then help cells turn over faster and reducing the appearance of aging and scars and stretch marks and just so much more. This is really, truly a miracle product when you talk about stimulating collagen and elastin production. That helps promote elasticity in turn and helps retain hydration. I found this product to be so extremely useful. And of course, on the regenerating and repairing damaged tissue, it also helps, clients to achieve this better looking and feeling skin really as a monotherapy done at home. But when you talk about combo therapies, and that's something that we've been hearing more of lately, as of lately, how have you witnessed CO2 lift? And I know they also have a CO2 lift V, the vaginal rejuvenation, affect the health of your patient's skin, including maybe even their skin down there.
Well, absolutely. So, our practice at M Beauty Clinic, we really have introduced a lot of combination therapies. We were the first to introduce combination treatments with platelet-rich plasma (PRP) and energy-based treatments and microneedling, and we call that our time machine procedure. And so, when I was introduced years ago to topical carboxytherapy CO2 lift, I thought it was too good to be true because it's so easy. You don't need to do the needles. There's really no downtime, and patients are experiencing instant improvement, instant, dramatic, noticeable improvement. So what we would do is I then thought about how to use it best and introduce my patients. So what we would do is we would apply numbing cream on the skin because patients have to numb for skin treatments like lasers and radiofrequency microneedling. And we would apply numbing cream and then apply the CO2 lift gel. And what that does is, one, because you get instant oxygenation of the tissues, you are actually making the skin as healthy as possible before you introduce energy. And then it also occludes the skin so that your numbing cream will work better. So then the procedure is a lot more comfortable for the patients. So we would use that, and it really worked amazingly well. That protocol has been introduced to other doctors now, and that's how it's used in the office. And then we educate our patients that they can use it after the treatment to improve wound healing, to improve the results, and also moisturize the skin, decrease downtime, decrease redness. And we absolutely use it not just for the face, but the vaginal area. I also created a protocol combining lasers, platelet-rich plasma for the vaginal area, and we've been treating patients now for many years with this. And the introduction of CO2 Lift V for the vaginal area has been incredibly wonderful for my patients because they can do something at home to help dryness, incontinence, and also just the overall appearance and healthiness of the tissues externally as well.
That's a lot of use cases and practical use cases. I mean, from pre-treating the skin prior to a procedure, that is emphasizing that is critical because I think that's often overlooked. It's a strategic step, and your emphasis on this aspect really underscores its role in optimizing the treatment outcomes. Essentially, is what you're saying, it to minimize potential complications, which basically sets a foundation for successful skincare journey. Now, moving on to uh, many individuals, when you look at their desire, right? They want the rejuvenating effects of a facelift without the invasiveness of surgery. So, how can one achieve the coveted facelift look through non-invasive methods, and what are the key techniques involved in CO2 lift?
Well, it's really amazing. And, I've been in practice now for 20 years, Zen, and I'm in my 50s. And actually, I'm wearing glasses right now. I don't usually wear glasses because I just had that combination protocol that I was talking about, our time machine procedure, less than 48 hours ago. And I'm going to take off my glasses. And I'm still a little swollen because we use a combination of radio frequency microneedling, which is really amazing to create new collagen, tighten the skin, improve wrinkles, improve pores, texture. And then we also use platelet-rich fibrin matrix and platelet-rich plasma drawn from blood. We collect our own growth factors, and we use it as a natural filler. So I had that injected in my temples, my under eyes, my cheeks, my jawline, and my chin. And so there's some swelling there still. But the amazing thing, when we use CO2 lift mask before and after, you can see that at less than 48 hours, I can wear my makeup, I can talk to you. Yesterday, I was at work and I don't look scary, I don't look too swollen, I don't look too red. And actually, my patients couldn't believe it and they wanted to sign up for this treatment. And the end result is essentially reversing the aging of the skin. So that's really amazing, is that we can take the skin to a younger state. In that, what I tell my patients, if I took a biopsy of your skin before you have this type of regenerative treatment like time machine procedure, and then we allow the skin to heal over the next 3 to 6 months, and then took another biopsy of the skin 6 months later, your skin 6 months later will be younger under the microscope. And so this has been how I've maintained my skin. This is how many of our patients maintain their skin. My celebrity patients rely on these procedures because they don't want to go under the knife, and we really don't need to, especially in the younger generation where they're being proactive about addressing these things.
Without
But
a
my
doubt.
glasses,
And
there you
yeah,
go.
get those glasses back on. Now,
But I wanted to just show people that it's this is the process, and compared to how it used to be and compared to the downtime of surgery, we really have many treatments now and many modalities like CO2 lift to help us cut down on downtime and allow us to really get the results that we want without the downtime.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff. And achieving a facelift like appearance without surgery is game changer in the skincare industry, especially in 2024. It's the new trend. And it's quite clear that your expertise in non-invasive techniques really does empower women to rejuvenate their appearance with minimal downtime and risks, nonetheless, right? Catering to the preferences of just many. You've ended up doing exactly what you set out to do, but as a dermatologist. Now, we talked about pre-treating the skin right prior to a skincare procedure, and you emphasized that pre-treatment is critical and key. But moving on to something a little bit more enhanced, if you will, what, as a sought after expert, pre-treatment aside, you've likely witnessed various skincare trends come and go. What emerging trends or even technologies do you find most promising or exciting in the realm of skin rejuvenation?
I think the whole regenerative medicine, regenerative aesthetic space is really the trend now. People want to naturally reverse the aging process or prevent the aging process. So, what we're talking about is prejuvenation. We're talking about biohacking, the skin, and treatments utilizing RF microneedling, ultrasound, soft wave, platelet-rich plasma, platelet-rich growth factors, nanofat, which is rich in our own stem cells and growth factors as well. Exosomes, that is really huge now. Exosomes are small vesicles that are released by different cells, and that could be stem cells, different sources of stem cells, umbilical cord, adipose fat derived stem cells can release these exosomes, and now we can use them after the procedure, pre-treating as well with at-home exosome treatments, and then combining that with treatments like CO2 lift, where we're increasing oxygenation, increasing blood flow. It's really amazing what we can achieve now naturally. And I really feel this is the way that we are going to look at, how we're going to age gracefully the modern way.
I agree. The filler look is out. The puffy lip look is out. The big boob look is out. People are opting for more natural. And when you talk about carbon dioxide therapy, this holistic approach and sustainable approach and non-invasive approach to skincare encompasses not only it's not only for facial rejuvenation, but it also addresses a diverse range of concerns like body contouring and scar reduction. And from what I understand, the comprehensive approach underscores your commitment as well as CO2 Lift's commitment to providing personalized skincare. And it is really truly about personalizing the derm journey. I've learned so much from you today. Thank you so much for coming on. You are incredible to talk to, full of knowledge, beautiful to look at,
Thank you.
and a trailblazer in your field. Thank you for making us women proud.
Thank you, Zen. And really, the message is that there's hope, and if you just utilize all the incredible technologies that we have today, you don't have to be scared about the aging process. And we also deal with a lot of women now who are reaching milestones like menopause. It's I'm there, and so I really feel like creating education and awareness is empowering. So thank you for having these types of platform.
Guys, that was the incredible Dr. Tess Mauricio. You could check her out directly at mbeautyclinic.com or on the gram at Dr. Tess Mauricio or at mbeautyclinic. That was our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV.
Hi, this is Kathy Ireland here on A Moment of Zen, brought to you by Your Home TV. We've developed an all-inclusive subscription-free network that you're going to love, whether it's financial freedom, fashion, beauty, health and wellness, wonderful weddings, travel and culture, cooking, entertainment, and short-form documentaries, programming for everyone. Classic films and new shows, including Kathy Ireland Presents American Dreams. We've developed this network just for you. Please check out yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Coming up next in our Metropolitan Lifestyles segment, brought to you by Your Home TV and our friends over at Kathy Ireland Worldwide. Today, we're featuring the incredible Marcus Klinko. He's a global gallery artist and photographer. He's born in Switzerland of French, Italian, Jewish, and Hungarian descent. Now, he decided to become a fashion photographer and retired from his international concert and recording career. How fitting is this interview? Now, he's photographed many celebrities and editorial clients, such as Vogue, GQ, Vanity Fair, Harper's Bazaar, and Interview Magazine. That's just to name a few, guys. Brands like Lancôme, L'Oréal Paris, Nike, Hugo Boss, Anna Sui, Pepsi, Sky Vodka, the list goes on and on. They've all hired him to create advertising campaigns and visual excitement at that. His work can be seen in various art galleries, museums, album covers, and his coffee table book icons. He joins me today to chat all about his career, the progression of photography in the digital era, the power of an incredible image, and how the advertising model has evolved with social media. Welcoming now to the show is the incredible Marcus Klinko. Welcome, superstar.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have you on. We seem to mingle in the same crowds, if you will, or have done so in the past. We have quite a lot of commonalities when it comes to networking and relationships. Now, Marcus, you've collaborated with many celebrities like David Bowie and Britney Spears and Anne Hathaway and Billie Eilish and Kate Winslet and Iman and Keanu Reeves and Kim Kardashian. Okay, the list is a never ending one. Now, you've created some of the most iconic album covers. One of my favorite, Beyonce's Dangerously in Love. Oh my God, this is visual extravagance. And Mariah Carey's The Emancipation of Mimi. Can you share with us more about your journey to becoming a photographer and what initially drew you to the art form?
Well, I was never meant to be a photographer. I was born in a musical household in Switzerland. My father was a symphony orchestra musician, and I really, my childhood dream was to become a successful recording artist and touring soloist. And I decided to play the harp, which is an instrument that's obviously quite rare. It's a niche within a niche. And I became very successful. In the mid 90s, I was really thriving. I had a recording contract with EMI Classics. And in 1994, unfortunately, I had a mysterious problem with my right hand. And so at that time, I was being photographed a lot for magazines and my own album covers and things like that, but I'd never taken a picture. But when this happened, and after specialists and doctors could not find a real reason for this, and it was very mysterious, I just decided head over heels, sort of by epiphany, that I had reached my childhood dream. I had been successful, had done this. I had toured the world, played huge concerts, and had award-winning records. The last one was the Paris Opera Orchestra. And so I just decided to become a fashion photographer, really without any training, any experience, and any intention also to go to school or assist anyone. So I sold all my harps, went to the best professional photo store in New York, bought every equipment there is, locked myself into my loft in Manhattan, and just started experimenting. And I had some friends that worked in the modeling industry who were very kind and sent me models for tests. And the rest is kind of history. Within a year, I moved back to Paris. At that time, I got to shoot a campaign for L'Oréal Paris within the first year, and collaborated with edgy, cool underground magazines in London and Paris, and then returned to New York, where I met Ingrid Sishi and Isabella Blow in London from the London Sunday Times, who gave me my start. But shortly thereafter, Iman and David Bowie became sort of my mentors, and
Wow. This is
that's how it all.
this is you're going to write a book, and of course very fitting why they want to do a documentary on your life. Now, photography is all about evoking emotion, and while video can be aided by the use of sound or dialogue, a still photo relies solely on the visual, and a powerful image has the ability to cross both language and cultural barriers to stir up feelings and really tell a story. Now, you're the photographer behind many world-renowned and iconic images. Can you discuss the process behind creating such memorable and impactful photographs?
Well, thank you for all these compliments, and I appreciate it. I go about this very spontaneously. My process is not very premeditated. Of course, there's always a plan, there's a concept, there are conversations, but I'm sort of the quintessential opportunities. When I see a chance to do something, it could be very last minute. Maybe we're working in the studio, but there's a terrace and I see, a cloud formation and a beautiful idea. I might just change everything up and move the shoot outside or vice versa. So there is just never, a limitation. The most famous example is that when Beyonce came for Dangerously in Love, this look that she's wearing on the cover, and I told that story many times, she's actually wearing my personal jeans. So talk about improvisation. She literally did not have, she liked the diamond top, but she didn't have any bottoms that she liked. And so I suggested maybe she should use denims, and she said she didn't have any. And so I said, well, maybe you try mine. And that's what we did. And so
And the
she's
rest is
actually
history.
wearing my men's D&G distressed jeans on this cover. And it's not a secret. I talked about that many times, but this is really a good example how in a last minute turnabout something great happens.
Now, it's funny because Frenchman Joseph Nicephore Niepce is credited with inventing the first camera back in 1816. And the world of photography has come quite a long way since then. And cameras today are nothing like they once were. So, as technology continues to evolve, including the onset of artificial intelligence, how do you see these advancements shaping the future of digital photography, and how do you stay ahead of the game?
Well, I'm extremely interested in all technology aspects around photography, whether that's cameras or lighting or computer post-production. I've been ahead of the curve. I've done the first digital global makeup campaign for L'Oreal Paris. No one at that time was shooting digitally. Everything was still on film, but I literally, forced them to let me use digital. And that was the last time they used film. After that, everything switched. So with Natalia Vodinova and Leticia Costa, I did the first major global digital makeup campaign in 2004, and sort of really changed the trajectory in how these type of photo shoots are done. And so I stay very, very closely affiliated with Fujifilm. I've been working with the company for 25 years. I help them with, ideas for the next best cameras, the high-end flagship camera models, and so on. I've endorsed lighting companies, worked with them. I customize everything I use. So I'm of course using AI for certain things, certain background elements and all of that. So I stay ahead of the curve when it comes to all of these aspects.
Now, it's interesting because 67% of consumers say the quality of a product image is very important in selecting and purchasing the product. So images really speak volumes. Now, I was signed to Elite New York as a model when I was 17 years old, and I shot with photographers, many of your friends, many of the greats like Patrick Demarchelier and Antoine Verglas and Santi D'Orazio and David LaChapelle. We spoke about them. And I know the fashion and modeling industry very well and can attest to the dramatic evolution in the last 2 decades. And to take it one step further, not just the way the industry shoots has evolved, but also the way these images are shared and distributed. And while print images and physical galleries still hold their value, the online world has made sharing work both faster and more widespread. And as mentioned before, in addition to your celebrity and fashion photography, you have been hired by many brands to create advertising campaigns. How have you found social media to have affected the consumption of photos? And can you share your thoughts on the role of online platforms and communities shaping the advertising model?
Well, you're very correct. The model has completely changed. When I started out, of course, magazine advertising spreads, ad spreads in magazines were, the main vehicle, and billboards. I think that a lot of the budgets within these big companies have been now allocated to social media. That's not necessarily a good thing for someone like me, because obviously I am interested in producing the most high-end, the most high-quality photographs. Social media has chipped away a lot of that. And there was certainly a time that a lot of major brands have used very unskilled photographers just because of social, followings or things like that to produce advertising campaigns. But I think that there's a huge shift now. There's a huge comeback where all of these companies, especially in the cosmetic world, they're realizing that the high-end image is something that is much more powerful. And since I'm so focused on my art gallery work now, and I'm really shifting a lot of the way I create images. I don't sit by the phone waiting for someone to call me with a job. I create my own campaigns, my own jobs by pitching them, by working with celebrities and brands based on my own ideas and the opportunities to exhibit them in galleries around the world, museums around the world. So it has completely changed.
Well, you are your best advocate, and you are quite the entrepreneur, and no one can sell themselves better than oneself. And when you know you have a roadmap and you have a vision, you create your own opportunities, right? Now, shifting away from your album covers and magazine shoots and advertising campaigns, let's talk about exactly that. Your recent series called The Angel Factory, which explores the phenomenon that our society is one where beauty precedes many other aspects of life, which has driven people to extreme lengths to achieve perfect features and bodies, so to speak. Could you tell us more about the creation of this series and the message behind it?
Absolutely. I'm personally super interested in training and staying healthy and eating the best possible unprocessed food and all of that stuff. So that interest led me to a creative idea, and I decided that I wanted to create an art series that really basically it's a fictional futuristic clinic somewhere in space where beautiful, half machine, half, sort of like cyborg models, get more and more perfected by lasers and things like that. So I just started this idea by contacting some medical companies that make devices for red light therapy, or lasers for pain and lasers for fat loss. And so for instance, the company Erconia, I collaborated intensely last year with, I did series of photographs with their emerald laser, which is a fat melting laser. However, I discovered it had huge benefits for energy, for cell rejuvenation and all of that. And so I got one of those lasers in my studio, and I use it when I need some extra energy. I don't have much fat to melt, so it is not on that purpose, because I work out. For the last 40 years, I've been working out very, very regularly, and I'm pretty disciplined. But the series just took its own sort of dimension, because then I did photos with a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and with a blood cleansing device, and a drink. It's called Biosomal, that is like based on turmeric. And so I created this image with a model. I used her 3 times, so basically 3 different characters. That's being served this turmeric drink in a very, very futuristic bar by a robot. And
All
so
of this sounds so fascinating. I just
had
want to
so much
dive into
fun.
the metaverse.
Yes, I had so much fun with this, and I want to expand on this. I'm looking to create a lot more collaborations with these medical companies. I love talking about that stuff, because in my own interest, I'm 63 years old. Rejuvenation and anti-aging, is of vital interest to myself. I need to stay very, very fit and very nimble for my own photo shoots, because it's very physical.
Yes.
And at the moment, a documentary series is in a production about my work, and so I need to look my best.
Well, you do look amazing, and you have come such a long way. And with that, we are out of time, but I could talk to you forever. And thank you so much for coming on and being so transparent and talking to us about your career and all the amazing and incredible things you have going on. More importantly, I'm going to make sure to get some CO2 lift product out to you if you are into skin rejuvenation, into cell regeneration. Then you definitely want to be applying carbon dioxide therapy directly on your skin. I know you will love it. And then you're going to end up having a great relationship with the amazing Lana Kerr. So can't wait to make that happen. But I thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, and I hope to see you soon.
That was our Metropolitan Lifestyle segment, and that was the incredible award-winning celebrity photographer Marcus Klinko. Definitely make sure to check out his work at marcusklinkostudio.com and follow him on the gram at Klinko Studio. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
Join Jimmy Jimbo Temple on Cowboys, Trailers, and Ranches and get ready for a crazy ride. From up-and-coming country western performers to ranchers with purpose, Jimmy takes you behind the scenes with a front row seat to all of the action. Cowboys, Trailers, and Ranches is dedicated to celebrating and preserving all things Western. Check them out on yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. A Moment of Zen is brought to you by The Wellness Way, your trusted partner in health restoration. Now you can feel amazing at any age with their foundational testing and mind-body approach. The Wellness Way offers in-clinic and telehealth support when you're ready to test, not guess, what your body needs. Discover your best health by visiting their website, thewellnessway.com, and selecting a clinic near you. Do health differently at thewellnessway.com.
Welcome back to this week's Discover Your Potential Express segment, sponsored by The Wellness Way on A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeart Radio. I'm Anna Devere, co-host of Discover Your Potential, and today we'll be chatting about the power of taking a virtual vacation. No matter where you live or what the weather is serving up, I bet right about now you could use a change of scenery. We kick off this week with National Virtual Vacation Day. And if you can't splurge on travel just yet, consider the power of planning your next trip with a little help from the virtual world. Evidence shows that merely daydreaming about this kind of pleasure can release the same endorphins as taking the actual excursion. That's why we love to escape into books and movies that transport us to faraway places. But imagine the fun of being the star of the show and putting your hands on the wheel of the tour bus. There are so many tools like Street View in Google Maps that give you the power to roam step by step down the avenues of your dreams. Now, VR technology can bring you even closer to your next great adventure, so you can experience more than just a 360-degree view. Start with a little inspiration. If you're a foodie, there's plenty of shows that will launch your appetite to discover why pizza just tastes better in Italy. If your family craves an adrenaline rush, lots of theme parks entice visitors with experiential tours on their website, and simply typing POV or point of view in your browser while searching up attractions will stir your wanderlust. Check out sites like Brink Travel and Wander for awe-inspiring views of places on your bucket list. And for the ultimate VR experience, add a VR headset to explore remote places National Geographic style, like the immersive platform Ecosphere. You can even bike your way through the Swiss Alps with VZ Fit. Does it take the place of an actual physical trip? Not exactly, but creating the ultimate virtual vision board will excite your senses to make that dream come to life. So what are you waiting for? Join me in designing your dream vacation by heading over to our website, dypshow.com, to register for a chance to win a $100 gift card. That's dypshow.com. You can also catch up on our extended episodes at www.discoveryourpotentialshow.com. From iHeart to your heart, this Express segment was sponsored by The Wellness Way.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
Are you looking to build a new home? Think about building a barn-dominium. There's just something about getting away from it all. Country living, fresh air, and outdoor entertainment. Watch luxury barn-dominium tours on Your Home TV and let Stacy Lynn, the barn-dominium lady, take you on a journey through her barn-dominium designs.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. A Moment of Zen is sponsored by FinTech TV.
FinTech TV, the newest streaming channel focused exclusively on the business of blockchain, digital assets, and sustainability. Broadcasting from our studio on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with daily reports from NASDAQ, global expansion, and 24/7 coverage. Become part of the launch. Head to fintech.tv/invest. Fintech.tv/invest.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Well, that's a wrap, my dear friends. Remember to join me right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, every Saturday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Or you could head to 710WOR.iHeart.com/A Moment of Zen. Also remember that we're live on Traverse TV Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, YouTube Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, directly on our channel. And all episodes of A Moment of Zen are available on Your Home TV and Kathy Ireland worldwide directly on our channel at mox.yourhometv.com. Thank you for listening to A Moment of Zen. It's been an absolute pleasure being your host. Thanks again to all of our sponsors that continue to make this show possible. And remember that happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it.